Okay. So in our code, we want to use these rectangles that are part of our global data object rather than the ones that were part of that rectangle package. So first thing we can do is we can just like highlight. We could actually do some token highlighting here. So in Notepad++, actually I don't know if it comes with it out of the box, but I use Control-1 and then Control-2 on this other one. So now those are permanently highlighted or temporarily highlighted everywhere, every instance. So I can quickly like scan through the code and kind of see where they are and change things accordingly, right? So we see like a hot spot, you know, right over here where we gotta change some stuff around. This rectangle package, I'm gonna wait to delete this big chunk of code after we've, you know, got the functionality back, right? You know, I just like to do things in 2 stages like that, because sometimes I make major screw-ups and I gotta reference the code I commented out, and it's easier to reference the code that I commented out than to reference the code I deleted, you know, 5 minutes ago, you know? Okay, so recpack.blah blah blah, recpack.blah blah blah. So let's also highlight the rectangle package, and let's do a different color. And anywhere where it says rectangle package, I'm just gonna replace with our global data object. I know some people are cringing because it's like, oh god, you know, it was so organized and now this person's like intentionally refactoring with globals. Well, I gotta say, you know, what's that rule? Keep it simple, stupid? Yeah, let's keep it simple. Okay, do I have any of that purple left? So this is where we're calling it. We don't need that anymore. We can comment that out. Actually, I'll mark that as red. That's just something special I do in my editor, so I can make fancy colored comments. So that'll get my attention, and I'll remember to delete it later. Okay, let's refresh, see what we got. Okay, that's what I expected. Excellent. Let's start chopping stuff out now. I'm satisfied with that, where I feel confident that I can just delete this big chunk that I'm not going to have to reference later. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to go back here, refresh, because I'm paranoid. I know that's kind of stupid because we just deleted a comment and then, you know, and then we checked to see if we didn't change anything. Well, that seems completely absurd, but the amount of stupid mistakes I've made make it so I think, you know, checking just to see if you screwed up stuff every once in a while, it's not a bad habit. If you get this attitude that you're infallible, I don't know if that's going to be productive unless you truly are infallible, which I highly doubt. Okay. Anyways, let's get rid of that. And what else are we going to whittle down? I know this... Well, the first thing we can do is if it's something like that, we can get rid of it because it's already commented out. And some of this code can go into where we create the rectangles. Like this translation stuff. Okay, I said I wasn't going to change the behavior, but this is unnecessary. This was just to demonstrate something. So I'm going to comment that out. And I'm going to refresh. I expect the rectangle to pop up towards the upper right now. Okay, that's what I expected. So let's go back here. I know I promised not to change functionality, but we're also trying to get rid of bullshit. And that's bullshit, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so what next? So obviously this is getting my attention right here, and it's like I don't want to deal with it, but it definitely needs to be dealt with. So let's see, global data, VP1. The center points, left and right bounds. So this is kind of where we're positioning the viewport in the center. Alright, VP1, yeah. So let's do that. VP1, let's color that. And then is there VP0? So if there's a VP0 right here, was it anywhere? So I would say what I want to do is all this code here, since I've highlighted VP1, I can see all this code is just changing viewport 1 somehow, which I believe it's the centering code. So we're going to cut that out. And then here where we're like creating our rectangles, I think we can paste this somewhere. And global data.rect.vp1. Let's put it and then I'm gonna this is a lot of okay, you know what? I'm gonna comment that out for a second, and I'm just gonna see what we have. Okay, right. So we had the when we had this problem, it was because our viewport was, you know, off the edge of the data set, and so this this code here was, you know, to make a nice viewport, nicely positioned, and all that stuff. It's a lot of code though, and I think we could just hard code some nice initial values. So the create tile map, right? We have a 512 by 512. Yeah, let's hard code some things. We're gonna shift some things around. So this is the so this viewport. We want to sample from like a centered fraction of the viewport of the data. So let's try, well first let's just do the whole thing, right? Quick sanity check, 512 and 512. And if we run that, right, we should expect it to be like zoomed all the way out now. Okay, so that's what we expect. And what we could do is we could like bring this in, like pull it in on, hold on. We can pull this in on every single side a bit. So we can do like, I don't know, we could just do 256 maybe. And 256. And on the lower bounds, we're going to add. And then on the upper bounds, we're going to subtract. And that's going to like inset that viewport a little bit to make it zoom in or zoom out. To zoom in, yes, it'll zoom in. So let's go here and take a look at that, and that's a little bit too much. Yeah, because 256 minus from both sides is, this is like 1 pixel. So that's a little too extreme. What we wanted was something more like 128. So we're kind of like halfway zoomed in. So we'll take that, and then we'll go over here, we'll refresh. Okay, so that's better. That's maybe a little bit less. Maybe we want to do like a 64. So I'm going to do a 64. And then we're going to go over here, we're going to refresh. Okay. Not quite enough. Okay, we're just going to stick with that 128. That 128 was pretty good. Okay, take a look. Okay, so now the next part, we're just gonna, all this code here, we're just gonna get rid of it. And are we going to keep in all these magic numbers? Maybe. Well, we got